was born and then grew up in Japan, so of course, like it's Japanese is my first language, so of course, being in Japan is more of a home. But at the same time, especially, like returnees, who study abroad or, work abroad and then come back to Japan, the Japanese society is very kind of square. You have to act in a certain way. You have to comply with the rules, and so sometimes I get suffocated. So I need that freedom, right? So the first few weeks, I need time to just kind of get adjusted to the American life. But after a while, I'm like, oh, it's so easy to live here.
Really?
So, yeah.
Not too many obligations here, or
no, you don't have to. Like in Japan, you always have to think about how other people see you, what other people think of you. How would your action affect other people around you?
Oh, okay.
But here, you do what you want to do.
Yeah, it's probably gone a little too far, maybe, I think.
Yeah.
So it's always, there's beauties and limitations in any culture, and so there's never a perfect, of having lived in other countries in Europe, and like, there's great things about this, but also, there's no perfect society. So.
No matter what we tell you. We tend to come off like that, I think, sometimes. So maybe just quick introduction, how you met, your family, just the real quick introduction.
Yeah. So my name's Grant Buchholtz. I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa, studied in Chicago, and then was a missionary in France for 2 years after finishing studies, and met Miho on a short-term mission trip where she came for 2 weeks. We got connected and dated, whatever that looks like, from two continents away.
Wow.
And this is still in the dial-up days where I'd write an email in Word, copy paste, ding, 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 logging in, blocking the phone line, send it. But we've now been married. Last week was our 21st anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I was born and then grew up in Japan.
Okay.
My hometown is called Yokohama.
A little closer.
Yeah. So here.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, so I was born and then I grew up in Japan, in a city called Yokohama. It's a half hour south of Tokyo. So, for me, I studied in the States for college, and then I went back to Japan. And in between my jobs, I had 2 months off. And so I went over to France on a short-term mission trip with Operation Mobilization, and that's where I met Grant.
And did you grow up as a Christian family, or?
No, I was born in a normal Japanese home where, neither of my parents was Christians. Now they are, but yes,
awesome.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, but I have 2 older brothers, but they're not Christians yet. But I came down with a depression. Japan is a highly academically, competitive society. So growing up, I went to regular school, but also I went to a place called Juku. So it only focuses on academic subjects. So, I had double homework every day. I stayed up till, like 2 a.m, studying. And then I would wake up, early next morning. And then just that pattern kind of went on for a while. And I couldn't stand it anymore. I came down with a depression in high school, and through the desperation, I guess, for hope. My mother actually took me to church, and then that's when I got saved. So yes, yeah.
Wow. So was your mother? She'll do anything to help you, and maybe church would help?
Right. So back then, like nowadays, like when somebody has like a depression or something, you would go to AI, ask for advice, or, you would just go, to like a psychiatrist or something. But back then, that too, but people actually sought help or rescue in religions. So my mother actually first took me to a local like cult leader's place, but then she was asked to give money. So she's like, maybe this is not it. So she went to a Buddhist monk, but the monk did the same thing. He wanted money out of her first before he would even offer help. So she's like, maybe this is not the answer. And then she ended up in a Christian church where people didn't ask for money, but they showed genuine concern, to pray for us and just, help in any way. So, yeah. And then she heard the gospel. She felt like, she's the one who pushed me, to this far, to excel, like in academics and trying to sort of live her dream, through me. So, yeah, she needed to unload that guilt somewhere. And then as she heard the gospel, she thought, okay, well, my sin is forgiven by the blood of Christ. So she got
Wow.
saved. Yeah.
That's great news. That's exciting. So I'm curious, like your parents, you both as parents grew up different cultures. What's it like raising daughters in one culture, but you're from another culture? How's that go?
And I think even raising two daughters where they're very different personalities too. And so it's been, I think it's helped that I'm very easygoing. And so that helps me not feel like it has to be conformed to my American standards, but more of, okay, what does the situation look like in Japan, and kind of navigating that together. But they're both great daughters, and so it hasn't been too much of a challenge of trying to make sure that and also the pressure of being a missionary kid and a pastor's kid, that kind of boxes them in that they need to be a certain way. And so we've really, especially I think because we've started the church, that's really helped of creating the culture that, yes, they're involved. And so our older daughter plays on the worship team keyboards once a month, but there wasn't this pressure of like, you're the pastor kid, you need to be doing this and this and this, or you need to dress a certain way, or you need to, do these things, but that they really feel loved and welcomed rather than, oh, I need to fit into this image that or pressure that's put on me. And so,
And then I think as we do life in either country, like I think we give commentary on why we do certain things, why Japanese act this way, why Americans act this way, what you need to do, in this context, but not in that context kind of thing. So like, they're Japanese, especially Ali, like she follows the rule, never breaks the rule. But, in America, we might say, oh, you don't always have to, you have to speak up or don't be reserved all the time. So, I think, trying to raise the kids bilingually in that manner, I guess.
That's always been the challenge too, when they have gone on home assignments from a Japanese school to American school. Japanese is much more on the harmony, and so it's not so much of a teacher calling out one kid or people raising their hands or just speaking out. It's very calm and quiet, where in American schools, like, you need to be extroverted, you need to be vocal to make your point or get attention. So
somewhat assertive and strong.
It's like, if that's not naturally what, you're used to. But also at the same time, not feel like you have to act like an American kid, that, hey, it's fine if who you are, but just know this is kind of with expectations in this situation. And so it's different. But
wow. So while you're here for the next 6 months, is that right?
Yeah.
What will you guys do? What will the kids do? Are they in school or are they just online? How do you sort that out as a family?
So they'll be going to public school in Boston. So we're on the road in the summer up until basically the end of August, and then we'll settle into, there's a parsonage of a church that is reserved for missionaries that we're fortunate to be able to stay at. Great. And it's the same school district of where they were 4 years ago on our last home assignment. So hopefully there might be some old friends that they reconnect with. But from basically September through January, it'll be Monday to Friday school, and then every Sunday will be a different church, mainly in the New England area. And then for us during the weekdays, it'll be part of our doctoral studies of writing, getting involved in some, like our home church is in Boston, so we'll probably there's a Japanese ministry that they do, so I'm sure we'll be involved in some ways, meeting up with supporters and things like that. And
you also run the staff meeting for our church in Japan.
Oh, great.
So yeah, we have
we're
all
not
the
completely
preachers
disconnected.
covered,
Yeah.
but
Sure.
yeah, this time because we have the children's director that we're also training, and then the intern that Grant talked about in the sermon. This is a new intern, like she's an intern without the pastors on the field, and so yeah, we do feel responsible to at least be available, to run the pastors meeting. So
Just juggling the time difference.
Yeah.
Just not easy.
On top of everything else you're doing. You said earlier, I heard you say that you feel stretched thin,
right,
doing so many things. How do you stay healthy? How do you find joy and connection outside of all the duties you have?
Right. Yeah. So I think actually God is good.
Yes.
God knows, what our limits are. So sometimes we are blessed with forced vacation. So something like that happened even during this trip too.
Oh, wow.
In Europe. Yeah. So some meetings didn't work out, and then like we just hang out, enjoyed being with each other as a family. So but yeah, I think we actually have to be really intentional about carving out the time, especially to to be with the Lord, but also really take care of your health, because we're not really getting any younger. Sometimes I feel this like tension in my arms, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't go on for more. So we actually live by the river in Japan. He trains for marathon, so he runs, he keeps his body healthy. But for me, I walk, and then I pray really out loud. So it's a great way to just get exercise and to be with the Lord. So
Will you guys have any time on Lake Michigan here while you're here?
Yeah, so this next week we'll be having what's called MCE, some missionary connection events. And so all the missionaries that are back on home assignment during this time will gather together with the Serve Globally office, people from the Covenant office in Chicago. So it's at the Covenant Harbor in Lake Geneva.
Oh, yeah.
And so that'll be nice. We've had times where we've had this event in the Covenant offices, and it's like that our daughters are just kind of on the iPad in the corner, or kind of have a book or something where they have the camp for them to do stuff during the day with other teens, and then for us to meet and connect. So that'll be nice to be able to hopefully get a little bit on the water. But
I hope you're able to enjoy that place. It's very pretty, very nice.
Never been.
That'll be great. It'll be great. And technically you could look across the lake, and you won't be able to see us, but we're right across the lake from where they
is that so?
Yeah,
okay.
So we're driving there tonight, and so it's like, if there's a ferry just to cut rather than having to go down through Indiana.
There is. It's right here in Muskegon.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it goes twice a day, but it's surprisingly expensive.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do the 3-hour drive.
Yeah, probably. So while you're in the United States, is there any place that you are always is on your list to go, whether it's to eat, to try something, to go somewhere, to visit somewhere? Is there some place that's always on your list?
Yeah. So because we're based in New England, we have one church that supports us in New Jersey, New York area. And so as we travel and dragging our kids to meetings and long lunches or this and that, we try to break it up of having something that's enjoyable for them. So I think New York is definitely a place that our daughters love, of seeing the Statue of Liberty or taking in a Broadway show or something where it's like, okay, it's not just church service after church service and coffee shops after coffee shop. And so, and then actually, as we landed last night and driving up here, right near the car rental place at O'Hare, I knew that there was a Potbelly from the Midwinters.
Sugar cookie.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so getting our Potbelly and our sugar cookie or Chipotle. So Mexican and barbecue are kind of the two things that you can find in Tokyo. I mean, they have food from literally every country in the world, but as authentic or great, it's great. So that's, I think, two of the foods that I always enjoy when we're back here is.
3 of them arrived here, in the States earlier, because I joined them later. Okay. So I still haven't had a chance to try out the Chipotle that you talked about. We still have to do the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So definitely those 2 are on my list.
Yeah.
But I also like to have a beach retreat, like a prayer retreat, like between the mountains and the ocean. I take the ocean. And in Boston, there's a place called Gloucester. So it's a beach town. And especially like in the fall, it's not the high season. So, you know, the prices are quite reasonable. So like I tend to go there, you know, like for 2 days or something for my personal retreat. So I kind of look forward to it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So you usually just get away, study the Bible, journal, pray, and just kind of reflect and kind of think about next steps and kind of what's happening. So
And I have to have the lobster roll and the fish chowder.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, is there any food that you miss while you're gone?
So like the food from America or
From
food
Japan.
from Japan?
From Japan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, definitely, you know, good sushi.
Yes.
And the miso soup. It's like a bowl of chili for you, or
yes.
like a chicken
Just
noodle
comfort,
soup for you,
just
comfort
comforting.
food. So once we settle in Boston, you know, we can make it.
Sure.
But like
And there's
as
Asian
we are on the
grocery
road,
stores,
Yeah.
we sometimes have a break, you know, Asian break.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's fun. So just talking about your church, about your ministry, what are you most excited about that God is doing right now?
I think probably one of the exciting things is seeing young people stepping up and serving. And so, as I mentioned in the message of this Japanese woman who's in her late 20s on maternity leave and really wrestling with, like, do I go back to my career or do I think about pivoting to ministry, or do I just work but obviously want to serve in different ways? We have a number of young people that have gone through this 1-year discipleship course where we have people kind of mentoring them week in, week out, where they're studying the Bible, learning kind of the basics of theology things, but also some ministry experience where they're able to help organize like our Christmas outreach event, which is one of our big events each year. And so having about 2 or 3 people every year going through that are in their, you know, early to mid-20s has been really a highlight of seeing them take really initiative and ownership of leading their small group or serving in different ways. And so I think that's one of the joys that we have is how can we pass on to the next generation of not just passively receiving, but really actively being equipped to use their gifts. And so that's been definitely a highlight.
Yeah, so far I think 9 individuals went through, and then 3 more have signed up for the new year and are starting in fall. So yeah, we are really excited. But you know, this didn't just happen by accident. You know, of course, you know, we are a church in the heart of the city in order to reach the younger generation. So and then in the first 3 years or so of our church ministry, we made the mistake of just kind of focusing too much attention in producing the Sunday worship service and not really investing in our people or growing our, like building our people. So we switched gears, and then, we really try to create a system to reproduce, leaders at every level of the church. We haven't completed it. We have this, what did I call it? Basics of the faith class. Okay. So it's for non-Christians to kind of explore Christianity. And then we have the baptism prep class, and then a new class to kind of teach people or give them opportunities to think about, okay, what do you think of this part of the Japanese culture based on this verse? So, we live in a pluralistic culture, and we as Japanese do certain things without even thinking, right, of the religious aspects of it. So, for example, on New Year's Day, people normally go to like a Shinto shrine to like throw in money and pray. But some Christians even like continue to do that, without even thinking, this is just our culture, but no, there's a meaning behind, your action. So, that sort of class is laid out. And then this 1 year discipleship course to really for people to not just study the word, but live out the word in their daily lives. And then we have this new internship program for people who are not seminary graduates, but people who are contemplating on whether they want to pursue ministry or not. So give them a chance, a platform to, gain experience, utilize their gifts to start something new, and just discern, if they're called or not. So I think all these things are kind of starting to take shape to reproduce the next generation leaders. And, Sayuri, the new intern, is, one of the first, fruits in a way. So, we are really excited. And, you give more ears, and hopefully we'll have more people like her.
Yeah.
Because one of the challenges for Japanese churches in general, less than 2% of Japanese pastors are under the age of 40, and about half are 60 and above. And so for certain denominations, even higher than that, where everybody's in their 70s and 80s, where it's like, unless something changes, the church is dying out, or the pastors are also getting old, where they may want to retire, but there's nobody to take over from them. So obviously just even church revitalization is important, but of church planters as well. Like, how do you raise up young leaders to do that? And so that's kind of our heart of pouring into not just allowing things to get older and to die out, but to really revitalize and see new things spark up. So,
do you see younger generations interested in faith and want to be a part of the church, or interested in Christianity at all?
I mean, Japanese is tough ground. People normally have suspicious view towards any religions. So, because I think this is because of the Shinto culture. And Shintoism is all about accepting everything, anything. So,
spiritual and anything.
So there's God in trees, there's God in foxes, snakes, whatever. Your ancestors, deceased ancestors, are gods, right? So, so don't just be exclusive. Being exclusive makes you weird and dangerous. So Christianity could be, really offensive to, a lot of Japanese people. But I think younger generation, if you give them safe space to explore without any strings attached, it's not like, okay, you join this basics of faith class for 5 sessions and you have to become Christians. Then, nobody would come. But if you say, okay, this is a chance for you to just ask any questions, no questions is dumb, then a lot of young people have gone through it, and then they're very serious about finding the meanings, of their lives. Like the big questions of life. Why does evil things, exist in this world? Why am I mistreated this way? And, it's okay if there is God, and He should solve, my problems. So we find providing the space is very important, and that becomes the very first step in catching the next generation.
And so knowing when we started the church that there's some that pour their lives and are sowing seeds for years and don't see any fruit, it's been amazing to see of how God has grown our church to 100 people now. And I think we've had 4 baptisms just this last year of people coming to faith. So, I mean, it's not quite revival, but I mean, we are seeing God working in lives and opening people up to the gospel. And so it's been such a joy, because I mean, you have these ambitions and hopes as you go there that I want to give my life to something and see God work, but at the same time knowing like I have no control over changing somebody's heart. And so I'll be faithful whatever happens. But I mean, it has been such a joy to see these people responding to the gospel, and young people being excited about sharing their faith. And there's even some college students that will come, and because they're non-Christian, don't want to come alone, so they'll bring friends. Like, you're actually a better evangelist than some of the mature believers, because you're like, I don't want to come to this Christmas event by myself. I'll bring 3 other friends. Like, sure.
Yeah.
So.
Do you find that you aim maybe your ministries or audience? Do you aim towards younger people intentionally?
Well, we chose a location in order to reach, younger generation, like 20s, maybe 30s, also, like children too. But our church is actually like life staged, multi-generational. we have a lot of babies. During the
Mhm.
COVID, people had nothing else to do, so
Yeah.
they had a bunch of babies.
Yeah, like, oh,
There are
okay.
2 rounds,
Yep.
right? And then we don't have too many teenagers,
Okay.
but we have college students and a lot of young adults and young families too.
Some
So
retired. So it's
yeah,
great to have the
mhm.
older people being able to pour into
yeah,
young
as
people.
mentors,
Yeah.
yeah.
What would you say is like the biggest barrier or frustration maybe?
Mm.
Some of the barriers, because in Japan there aren't very many Christians, even if people come to faith, oftentimes it is said that the life expectancy as Christians is 2 to 3 years if you don't disciple them right. So, it could be, I'm busy with work, and that's genuine, like
Sure.
we have an all-consuming work culture. So it's because the busyness of fatigue, they kind of stop coming to church. And then soon enough, it's actually, more of the priority issue. They don't consider, like faith to be more important than other things. And so
they drift away.
yeah, they drift away. So yeah, I think one of the largest challenges is the lack of disciplers, especially disciplers who can disciple Japanese. So if we have more of them, because some people we have baptized, they strayed away from the church. And there's one time that I actually cried. So this one girl, I poured quite a bit into her. She moved, and I told her, I can connect you to this church. But it's like, okay, I'm kind of done with, the church.
Oh.
So, that was very difficult for me. So, these new Christians kind of slip through your fingers. But if you have enough disciplers, I feel like, you can stop these people from falling.
Have a better chance of, that they feel connected to community rather than just like, they're just about coming to service. It may feel very easy to get detached, but if they're serving, if they're connected to a small group and they have people that are pouring into them, that gives you the best chance of people really having a strong foundation and growing in their faith rather than, okay, I've made a decision, but then when things get busy or this is no longer interesting or whatever it may be, that they're still engaged. And so that's one of the beautiful things too of Japan, because there is that certain sense of loyalty. They haven't made this decision because this is the cool thing to do or this is the popular thing to do, but like choosing to follow Christ, there's beauty in there's, churches that'll be 5 people and it's like, your church is dead, but like they're committed to, we're going to still gather and worship and whatever it looks like. So there's something beautiful in that, even though from the outside it may feel like, wow, this is a dying church, but hey, that tenacity of we're going to continue being faithful is something that I'm really touched by. So I think some of the barriers, as we mentioned too, I think some of the key barriers for people coming to faith will be, one, that exclusive aspect of you can be both Shinto and Buddhist and it's not a problem. But when you say, Jesus, I am the way, the truth, and life, like, okay, that's a bridge too far. And the perception that, it was Portuguese missionaries and American missionaries that brought the faith, and so Christianity is a Western religion, even though it's from the Middle East. Like that's not even accurate to begin with, but helping break down that fact that you don't need to become American to be a Christian. You don't have to give up your Japanese identity to follow Christ. So there's some of those barriers that we really work hard to make sure that you may have pushback from your family of becoming a Christian, so they may, not approve, but it's not quite the same as like a Muslim context where you might be kicked out of your family or face persecution. But there is definitely that pressure of, I don't want to, there's that sense of harmony. And so being the odd one out, I'm the only Christian in my school, the only one in my workplace.
Only one in the family.
Yeah. And so those are real challenges that people face. And so,
so that much more important to have them connected at church and find community there.
Otherwise you get isolated real quick and then everything else just like,
wow.
So.
just as we're kind of thinking about how other churches are connected, how could we support, encourage, pray? What's the best thing we can do from so far away?
I think prayer is one of the key ways of staying aware of what's happening, praying for us that we'll stay strong. We love feeling encouraged that rather than we're out there on our own and not hearing. So, I mean, even hearing when we send newsletters of just even short words of encouraging words like, that hey, people care or are thinking of us or something.
They actually read it.
Yeah.
And you got a response maybe once in a while?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Okay.
And we've always had teams come. And I mean, it's so far away. And so we know especially because of language barriers and the cost, it's tough to have the typical mission trip where obviously going to Caribbean or Mexico or inner city is much more feasible. But if people did want to come, we have kind of like a vacation Bible school where we'll have it's called Summer English Camp. That's actually happening this next week, and there's a team from Austin, Texas, coming to join us this next year or this next week. But because it's in English and it's the skits and Bible stories and games and crafts and things like that, it's amazing that you're able to really use your gifts to pour into these kids that this may be the first time they've ever set foot in a church kind of space or hearing Bible stories is really exciting. So, I mean, that's a possibility too of having youth group come or something else in the future come and serve.
Yeah.
And so,
And also, I mean, Grant shared in the service of how we are doing the building campaign. I mean, there have been some new churches like ours that have gone into the Ikebukuro area. So that's the third busiest train station, right? Like in the world. And our church is literally like, it used to be like a 2-minute walk from the station. Now it's like 6-minute walk. It's in the rental, like a properties. But those new churches, because it's such an older part of the city and it's so congested, space has always been an issue. It's difficult to find a space that can hold, like 100 people, to at least 2 rooms, and with the storage like nearby.
space for children.
So because of the difficulty, many of the new churches that have come in have left Ikebukuro for other areas, of Tokyo, but
closed because just ministry is difficult.
Yeah, but we are already invested in Ikebukuro, community, and it's a livable part of Tokyo. Like you walk 5 minutes, like from the station, and then you find houses there. So you can be regional and local at the same time. A very strategic, location is Ikebukuro. So like during the pandemics, because we couldn't meet inside of the building, we lost our, building, right? So we had to go out to like different parks, like very big, parks in different parts of Tokyo. But, some people could come, but others couldn't, so that made it very clear that we are our Ikebukuro church. People come to our church because we are in Ikebukuro. So all the more we want to stay in Ikebukuro, and to get our own, place is for us to be really, rooted in that area. So if you can be
over the last 2 years, we've started their building campaign, and I mean, this is beyond 10 times anything we've ever raised before, but I've already raised about $1.2 million of our goal. So we're like 81% up towards our initial target. So it's been amazing.
But since then, the prices have gone up. So but still.
Can you actually buy, or do you have to rent?
So we're renting now, but I mean, the hope is that we're able to buy an older building that we're able to renovate and have space for midweek kind of community center, classes, outreach things, Bible studies, and then stuff for gatherings on Sundays of a worship service, children's ministry, youth ministry, all those kinds of things. I mean, we have dreams, but knowing we just need to get some space rather than having lofty goals of starting, a preschool or starting these okay, let's just get one small little property where we're able to really have a presence in the community on a regular basis rather than just on Sundays. So
because as long as you're in the rental space, you always, experience these constrictions.
Yes.
Like some groups feel like, they can't meet long enough. Their relationship, kind of stay on the shallow side because they have to cut, the meeting in the middle of
2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and also we thought, okay, now we are in a new space. It's larger, so maybe we can do more. And then we realized that we booked till like 2 o'clock, and then hoping to extend whenever we wanted, right? Like we also don't want to book, so much ahead of time for such a long time and waste, right? So then a different church decided to come rent like right after us. So we're like, okay, we can't extend beyond 2.
Because they faced the same thing of the space they were meeting is no longer accessible. And so they reached out like, hey, what's up,
Oh, wow.
So we're like, hey, it's all good. There's no sense of competition. That's one of the beauties of, I think, because only 1% of the Japanese population is Christian, like there's plenty of people that need to know about Jesus. So we're happy to have new churches come into that
But
area.
this is a Chinese-speaking church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are, Japanese, English bilingual, but they are Chinese-speaking church.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Kingdom Embassy that was here today, they started in a real small area out of here.
Okay.
They were growing and couldn't find anywhere to meet, and so they met in our student center on Sundays.
Oh, wow.
And so until they grew out of that,
Right.
and they needed a building and eventually found
Sure.
another church that was closing
Okay.
just 5 minutes from here.
Wow.
Oh, that's
So,
great. Yeah.
But yeah, same thing. It's good to have partners in ministry and kind of work together.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, is there anything else? We'll put your information in the podcast, like your links and all that kind of stuff. I'll encourage people to respond to newsletters and write little encouraging notes. We know you read them. They do the same thing to us, if that makes you feel better. You sometimes wonder, are you out there?
Yeah.
Is there anything else we could do or say or think besides prayer to encourage you?
I think it's just been a blessing of being here this Sunday and finally meeting you guys in person.
Yeah.
So we're just so encouraged of feeling so welcome in the sense of hospitality and people that care already, even though this is the first time of meeting. And so, we're just so grateful for this partnership. And you're doing well without Pastor Ken for right now. So.
Also, I wanted to say, like we visit different churches, and churches in America are not, on overall not doing as well as they used to do, right?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of translated into their interest in global mission too.
Sure.
So we don't often get this kind of podcast opportunities, or like you don't get to preach. Yeah, but then you're allowing us to share our perspectives, our experiences from the pulpit in the small groups, and in this way it means a lot. So thank you so much for having interest in what God's doing locally, but also globally.
Yeah.
So we were touched by the sense that there is a priority on missions rather than like, oh, it's just a few people's interest or hobby, rather than like this is something that the church really cares about. And so even the fact of giving the gift to that local ministry shows, hey, it's not just of looking out for our own needs, but how can we be a blessing to people doing God's work here in the city and around the world. And so it's very moving.
Yeah, we've started this like welcome project because our church is old. A lot of the building is old and needs some work. We need to do some work. We need to raise some money, but we also have people we partner with and we want to encourage. And so same as with you guys, we have just a select group where we kind of, instead of going like 100 groups that we partner with, we try to keep it smaller so we can actually be invested and get to know people.
And meaningful.
Yes. Yeah. Same with you. So we're really happy to finally get some time to connect, and we'll maybe figure out a way to do like a video podcast or connection in a service sometime or something.
Yeah.
We're always game to try different things like that.
Sounds good.
So, well, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so
you
much.
don't have to wait for us to come back in 4 years or something, but we're happy to stay connected.
Okay. Yeah, we'll look forward to it. Well, thank you.
All right.
Thank
Signing
you.
off. See you, everybody.